Brought to you by Flagstaff, building better RVs, making smarter RVers.
All right, so if you've been catching the RV Show USA for a while now, you may know that a couple of years ago we were fortunate enough to get the attention of a manufacturer in the RV industry, a manufacturer that cared as much about consumer education and quality as they do about selling their product. That manufacturer actually produces Flagstaff and Rockwood travel trailers and fifth wheels, which are both very well-known, very well-established brands. And for more than a year now, we've interviewed the folks behind the scenes at Flagstaff Rockwood, their plant in Millersburg, Indiana, and to learn so many things, important things about RVs and the RV industry that most consumers don't know and many don't even think about, and how they affect you and me, the consumer. Well, over the past 3 months or so on our YouTube channel, we've given you some walkthroughs of many of the new floor plans they've got for 2021. If you watched many of these videos, you've noticed some similarities in every single RV that we've looked at. An example, well, instead of inexpensive, very soft wood in their construction and their framing, every single RV that comes out of the Flagstaff Rockwood plant is built from strong, lightweight, welded aluminum framing, every single one of them, and on all 6 sides of every RV. An RV that's built with aluminum framing, welded aluminum framing, is far stronger, far lighter, and will stay together much, much longer than RVs that are made with cheaper, heavier wood. In fact, you will not find any wood in any of the framing on a Flagstaff or Rockwood. From the framing under the bed to under the bench seating, even in the storage bins, all that's important, and it's readily visible. But it's actually what you can't see in an RV that I want to talk about. This is why education is so important. It's so important that you realize what you are buying if you want to make the right decision, a fully informed decision. Let me give you an example. Many manufacturers realize that you, the consumer, you want to know that your RV is built using aluminum framing materials. And many are. But that may not be the whole story. The whole story is that if a manufacturer uses any aluminum in their RV framing, for example, they might market it by saying welded aluminum framing. And it is, sort of. A manufacturer only may have to use a tiny bit of aluminum to claim aluminum framing. Let me give you a little example. If you go to the grocery store and pick up some apple juice, well, there's a lot of choices in apple juice, or rather in the apple juice area. But like I said, they're not all the same. Some on the label you'll find they'll say apple juice cocktail, and right next to it, 100% real apple juice. They are not exactly the same, and they're not priced the same. The one that says 100% juice is, of course, a little bit more expensive than the other one. Well, similar in RVs, if you want quality, don't fall for the we use aluminum framing in our construction. The better choice really is find an RV that is made of 100% welded aluminum framing on all 6 sides. And you most likely won't know if you don't ask. And many times a salesperson, in fact, a lot of times the salesperson has no idea. There's so much more to making the right decision about which RV to buy and why than just looking at the pretty exterior. It's what's underneath, including what you can't see, that separates an RV that will last a very, very long time versus one that may begin falling apart in just a few years. In the coming weeks, we're going to give you some industry experts. We're going to have them on the show to talk about things similar to the subject of aluminum framing that we just talked about. It's all part of the RV Education Initiative supported by the folks at Flagstaff and Rockwood. Their slogan, goes building better RVs, making smarter RVers, and that is exactly what we're trying to do. Well, what do you think? You want to learn more about how RVs are built in the RV industry and, why things are the way they are? Why? Why some RVs may look similar but be vastly different in terms of quality? If you'd like to hear more educational segments like this one, let us know at 1-330-WINGMAN. That's 1-330-946-4626.